Can people change? Can they be better at love and relationships? Big questions, I know, but that's exactly what advice columnist and podcast host Meredith Goldstein set out to explore in the latest season of Love Letters.
Yes, Meredith has been writing and researching love since the column's launch in the Boston Globe in 2009. She shares meet cutes, breakups, life lessons, and happy endings, and it's only gotten more popular with the podcast launch in 2018. So joining us now is Meredith. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Bringing us the love.
Congratulations, season 10.
Yes.
Season 10, yeah.
Love Letters. Can people change is the name or kind of theme of this season. What can people expect?
So basically, every season of the Love Letters podcast, I selfishly choose a theme that is on my mind. And the first season was all about breakups. Can we get over a breakup? Is there a good way? And now that we're all the way into season 10, I've been thinking, can I change? Can I change for the better? Can I do relationships better? Not just romantic relationships, but friendships. And how can we change so that we're happier? And so this season, I'm going to experts, I'm going to people with narrative, fun stories about how they changed, did they change, and learning from it, like, can we all change? So the answer to the question is complicated. Sometimes we can change, sometimes it's really hard, but with every story I get, the answer becomes a little more clear.
As you're doing research for the new season, what did you expect to find, and what are some of the things that maybe surprised you after?
I think I thought that a lot of people would think that they changed, but that they really didn't.
Oh.
That may be pessimistic, but or I thought it'd be small changes. But what I'm really learning is that the more we know ourselves, the more we can break out of these patterns, right? So in our first episode of the season, a young woman in her 20s is in a lot of, a stressful situation after caregiving for a parent. She's just in a constant state of fight or flight because if anybody's ever been a caregiver, you're just like, what's next? What do I need to do? Like, scared of the next phone call. And she takes a clown class and keeps taking the clown classes, and she becomes more calm because she has to be really present in the class. It starts rewiring her brain in other parts of her life where she can have more fun. She's a better dater. She's just aware. And I talked to a scientist and he was like, yeah, it did rewire her brain. That's possible. Wow. So that's a surprise, right? Yeah. I never thought change would come in the form of a clown class.
But it makes you unapologetically you, and you're just like, all right, I don't care what people think.
Yeah, she was like, by taking this class, sometimes you just fall down, on purpose. And you have to pay attention, right? Your mind can't be in 50 different places. So people's stories are really strange. And we have one woman who moved to Italy. Now, did she change, or is she just in Italy? At the end of the day, I don't really care. She gets to be in Italy.
We're not.
Living in a palazzo. So, some changes seem to be more external, but they make you more internally happy. So I'm learning a ton.
That's so interesting. And what I love is that you combine these conversations, right? You have them with these everyday real people, and then also talk to experts so that you're kind of getting both sides of it to really help understand what's happening and not, to your point, just are you in a different environment and that just is different. And there's another part of this that your sister is involved. So what is that like?
So my sister is 4 years older. A lot of people always assume she's the younger sister, and she is sort of a recurring character in all of these seasons. She shows up, she's very funny, and then she goes, and occasionally she tells a personal story. And during this season, over the past few years, she has been getting a divorce. And it was complicated. It is complicated because she has a very loving relationship with her former partner. So I said, would you mind telling the story on our podcast? Because people have come to know her. And she talks about how she changed and how change actually led to the end of a marriage and the start of a friendship with her longtime partner. So, it's emotional when the source is your own sister, when you're talking about your own brother-in-law. And I'm always very careful about giving advice to my sister because she's not always asking. You know what I mean? We don't always want to hear.
To coddle her.
Exactly. No, and I think I've just learned from her. She's usually our funny guest, and she's still our funny guest. But there's a lot of bravery and strength in admitting when a relationship has to shift and evolve. And for years in my advice column, I've been telling people divorces are not failures, breakups aren't failures. Yes. It's not a failed relationship. It's just changing. And suddenly that advice really became important for both of us.
I love that you're able to kind of see those both sides of her too, right? It's you can go through this and still be that, and that's so important as we're talking about change, I'm sure. So you guys, season 10 of the Love Letters podcast is available now wherever you listen to your podcast, so make sure that you tune into that. And Meredith, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.